Sex on the first date.
When somebody's like aggressively rubbing your thumb, that's usually a bad sign.
You're walking in, you have your hot outfit on and your heels. And
Don't have him smell your pits. I'm going to tell you, that's a bad idea. Don't do it.
And don't ask him how many siblings he has. They obviously don't like that.
Obviously, don't talk about your dead father.
Well, thank you for joining the Rosé Girls. Today we have a very fun topic. It's all about first date do's and don'ts. So I hope that you have a glass of rosé in your hand, because a lot of you guys have actually sent in many very juicy questions that all of us Rosé Girls are very excited to talk about. So cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
First question, do you talk about sex and or have sex on the first date? Who wants to start?
Sex on the first date is a no.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that you're setting the tone for the relationship. And if you have sex on the first date, I think that's what they are going to just continue to want each time they see you. What do you guys think?
I second that, Britt, all the way.
I third that, definitely.
I totally agree with it, but I will say that I have done it before. And yeah, right. And actually with my longest relationship, but in the end, I could see that because of that, that definitely was a huge problem for us because he always wanted that. And I gave it to him. So I totally agree. You should not give it up on the first date.
Absolutely. I agree too.
Although when it comes to talking about sex, if your first date is if the topic is sex, I think that's kind of a red flag. But if they ask you, like, are you, a sexual person? And they just want to know if you like to, if you're adventurous in that component, then I think it's kind of a fun topic, but as long as it's not the main topic of the night.
Yeah.
I agree.
As long as it
I
stays
like it
classy, it's
a
fine.
little-
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost a little bit old school in the way of thinking where I'm like, you got to get to know like my sister's name before you get to know what I'm like in bed. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's all about the energy, and I feel like if the conversation's flowing and you're comfortable and he's comfortable, I think it's more about like how you feel. And if he's being a creep about it, then of course, like, shut it down.
I think every girl knows like instantly kind of in your gut, like within the first date, like, are they just after me to get me in bed, or are they after me to get to know me? And you have to just listen to that, like deep in your gut. Like, it sucks. Sometimes you don't want to listen to it, but you know it's there.
Yeah.
Next question, do you wait to text him or do you text him right away?
Like, who texts who first is such a big deal. And in my life, I'm like, if I want to talk to you, I'm going to text you. Like, I'm not going to play this game as far as like who's texting who first and how long are we waiting and blah, blah, blah. Like, if I want to text you and say, hey, I had a really good time, I'm going to text you and say, hey, I had a really good time. And I guess you can take that for what it is. I do get the game of it and like how it's nice to be pursued, but I don't necessarily think getting pursued means that you have to wait until he texts you first.
Obviously, it's nice when they text you first, but if you had a great time, I say let them know. Like, guys love attention, let's be honest. So they'll love that text. And maybe like sometimes I'll just wait until the next morning, and if they haven't texted, then I'll just say something, sweet and short, like, I had a great time, I can't wait to see you again. And then maybe like bring up something that he said during the night, or like a little inside joke, or something to show that like you were obviously listening, you really appreciated him. That's kind of what I do.
What I do is like after the date, whether they pick me up or whether I meet them, they're gonna go home. So I'm always like, text me when you get home, so I know that you make it home safely.
Yeah.
And so that's that text that I always get, and then I say, that's my thank you. I had a great time tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good little
I like
tip.
that.
Yeah, that's a good line too. That's a great line. And opens the conversation, because a lot of men, you don't realize, are insecure and they're nervous. They're nervous to reach out first. They're very hesitant. A lot of my guy friends are like, what do I do? Do I send the first text? And I'm just kind of over the bullshit of that. It's like, listen, if you like someone, just reach out. Like everyone, like Jess said, everyone likes attention, right? They're not going to be like, oh my God, she's texting me. She's a stalker. They're gonna appreciate it. Like, you know what, this girl's like, I want to talk to her. She's cool. Like, she's cool. She's not like high maintenance with herself, or like he has to text me first. Like, if you like someone, screw the rules.
I agree. Just don't be the crazy person that texts like a million times.
Right.
Don't be that girl.
Wait, one text wonder.
Only once.
No emojis. Keep it simple.
Simple. Put a period at the end. That's okay.
Yes.
I feel like the longer you wait, sometimes the more awkward it gets too. Because then he knows that you're waiting for him to text you first, and that's just so weird.
And just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
And really, you have nothing to lose. He's gonna text you back or he's not.
Next question. When you are on the date, what do you order and what do you not order? Such as spaghetti. Would you order that?
No, I would not.
Me either.
You see, I totally would, because
No.
if you can't handle me eating spaghetti, then you can't handle me at all.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but I know I'm that girl that will have sauce on my chin.
Same.
And I know he's going to be like, I'm not texting her back. Like,
Same.
that would be me.
You will be waiting for the text.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
I kind of have a good story about that. So the guy I dated for 3 years was like, okay, when you ordered the first drink, he was like, I kind of judged you on that. I'm like, oh my God. And guess what I ordered for my first drink, which is kind of embarrassing. So he was like, I was thinking you were going to say a martini or something so refined. And I was like, do you have a vodka Red Bull? Like, and I don't want sugar free. Like, I need a Red Bull. He was like, that was like, whoa. So I feel like with the drinks, you kind of have to be like, you know, kind of sexy about it. Like, even if you know, like a martini, or even like order a shot, like shock him a little bit.
On the rocks.
Ooh.
Something like that on the rocks.
Yeah, something on the rocks.
They
Sexy.
love that. They're like,
They
oh,
love
yeah,
it. Guys are watching that. They really are,
Yeah.
honestly.
You know, my thing when it comes to ordering food is I personally love it when the guy just orders food and we just share. It makes it easy. And then that way, if you get something garlicky or this or that, you guys both have garlic breath. So if you do kiss at the end of the night, it's like, well, we're shit out of luck. But my thing is order the fuck you want. Like if you want a salad, order a salad. If he's going to judge you for it, then he's not the right guy.
Yeah.
Order whatever you want. Sushi, you put that whole roll in your mouth and you do it confident.
Without the chopsticks. Leave the chopsticks on the side and pick them up.
Like, don't think about it so much. Just, you know, pay more attention to like the conversation than what you guys are eating.
Yeah.
Next question. So, do you ask how many people that they have dated or slept with, or no?
Dear Lord, no.
No.
On a first date, you are not talking about the number of people you've slept with. Oh my God, if a guy
I
asks
asked
me
that
that
before and I regret it.
Honestly, I still don't want to know how many.
Right.
Like,
Second date, third date, you can keep it to yourself.
yes.
does everyone just know that number on the top of their head?
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Okay, am I odd? But I keep a list in my phone
so
of every guy I've ever slept with.
That's a good idea.
See,
And
I
keep
don't
a
want
month
to
next to
know.
it.
I don't want to know how many people I've slept with. I'm too old for that shit. Like, I don't want to think about it. So if someone asks me that, I'm going to be so turned off. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Well, that brings me to my next question. Do you ask about past relationships or why they're single?
I hate that question.
I ask about past relationships because, I mean, your relationships have made you the person that you are today. So, I mean, most people have been in a long-term relationship. So it shaped them into who they are. So I think that's important.
When asking when their last relationship was, like, that's important because you don't know if they're looking for something serious or if they just got out of a relationship and they just want like
A rebound.
a rebound. You know what I mean? So you
That's
kind of
so
need
true.
to know if they've been single for 2 weeks or 2 years.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't want to be the rebound because usually
No.
the person they date right after, it never works out, honestly. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
If they're coming out of a 4-year relationship, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think though it has to come up naturally. Like, you don't just want to be like, oh, our drinks came. So, when was your last relationship? Like, it
No,
needs to be
obviously not.
hey, I love snowboarding, and because I love snowboarding, oh, last time I was there, I was with my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, we dated, blah, 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 whatever. But if it doesn't come up, I don't think it's like a red flag. Like, I don't think you have to bring it up on a first date, but I honestly do think that it needs to be brought up before you start thinking about getting serious with somebody.
Yes.
And as far as the question, like, why are you single? I think that would be a question or something you could say towards the end of the date, like when things are kind of wrapping up, because it is a compliment. Like, why are you still single? It's a compliment, and hopefully he takes it that way, which he will, because then you could say, like, you have so many great, you know, values, or you've shared so much with me. Like, why are you single? I don't get it. Also, then when you say that, maybe he'll open up saying what he's almost looking for in a girl, and you could get some hints.
What the criteria is, or like, they'll tell you. They'll definitely tell you.
Maybe I'm weird, but I hate getting that question. Why are you single?
Why?
Like, oh
I
my
take it as a
God, do
compliment
you
when I
want
hear
to know?
What do you say though?
I say I'm picky.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
my
good answer, though. That's a good
my
answer.
You know what's a good selective? I'm selective.
Selective is
Very
good.
selective.
Yeah, I like selective better than picky. Yeah. I'll change.
Because then it kind of puts them on their guard, where it's like, okay, I have to kind of show up for this woman. This is like a real deal woman.
Right.
Yeah. She's just not impressed by everyone. You know?
Exactly.
Okay, ladies, do you ask the tough questions like religion, marriage, kids, all of that juicy stuff, deep stuff on the first date?
Let's talk about religion. What do you guys think?
I'll talk about my experience really fast with that. So I was in a 3-year relationship and I'm 33, right? So like I have been married before. I know what I want. And I dated this guy who said in the beginning he was agnostic and that he didn't know if he wanted children. And I was like, okay, he'll change down the road. Well, 3 years later, he didn't change. And I started dating him when I was 30. Now I'm 33. So I kind of feel like that kind of wasted some time to where it's like he never really was going to commit. And we never were going to meet in the middle on what we wanted together because it was different things. So you end up heartbroken. It's uncomfortable to ask those questions, but you have to ask those questions.
Asking those hard questions also will show and like prove to him that you're not just here for like a free dinner, like you actually care and like are looking into the future. When it comes to politics, I hate that topic like with a passion. So I would never bring up politics. And if it did bring up, I would be like,
shut it down.
Yeah, I would do anything. I'd like get up and like, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't know. I would just like end it immediately. But the other things like marriage and children, and for me, like as long as they are religious and they're a believer, then, you know, those are like important things to me.
Absolutely.
But also when you bring up like their family and their like his upbringing, you can kind of bounce off that if you're not comfortable asking these hard questions. Just ask about their siblings and be like, brothers and sisters, but do you want kids? Like, you know, kind of like bounce off of that.
Right. Make it natural.
Make it
you never want to force a question. Just like go with the flow, be flexible in your entire, you know, night. Because if you're just having an interview with this guy, he's not gonna like
keep an open mind, because you never know, like they might say something and there might be a lot more behind it that they might not want to get into right away. And so like I feel it out. Like, don't judge somebody just like if they say, "Oh my gosh, I voted for Donald Trump."
Right.
Okay, yeah, I would probably run the other way. But maybe it's good to keep a little bit of an open mind and say, "Okay, why?" Like maybe there's a reason or a stance that Donald Trump has that he really is passionate about or whatever. I think it's good to kind of keep an open mind with those sorts of topics, as hard as it can be to keep in mind.
I agree.
And keep in mind, this is the first date. So like these topics, you can't just almost it's not like a make or break. It's not like you're going through a checklist. It's give him a second chance if he doesn't answer one thing right that you ask him.
I agree with that. I think that's important.
And not everybody wants to get super personal because it is the first date. And if it doesn't work out in 3 weeks, they don't want you, or you don't want them knowing everything about you. So just take your time with it.
Mm-hmm. Have fun. That's what a date's for, is fun. Goodness.
When you laugh.
Except don't lift up your arms. Don't have him smell your pits. I'm going to tell you, that's a bad idea. Don't do it.
And don't ask him how many siblings he has. They obviously don't like that.
Obviously, don't talk about your dead father.
Don't talk about his butt on the first date. He obviously is not interested.
Dying. I love you, girl. Dying.
As long as we can joke about it.
Absolutely.
What can you do?
Right.
Drink. That's what you can do. Drink.
Exactly. I have one last question for you ladies. Do you let him pick you up at your house or vice versa? Or do you meet at the place that you are going on your date? I think it all depends. If you're meeting for coffee or something, you can just meet at the coffee place. Or if you're going to lunch, during a lunch break, just meet him there. But if it's a dinner or, you're going to a concert, he can pick you up. I think that is perfectly acceptable. It's not inappropriate. And that's how I feel. What about you ladies?
It also, when he picks you up, leads to, at the end of the date, you have the opportunity to then have that goodnight kiss.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you want that goodnight.
Yes.
My thing is if you're meeting him for the very first time, I don't know if you don't know anything about this guy, I wouldn't have him pick me up. But for me, I'm not on any dating app. So I either meet them in person before, or it's like a blind date set up by a friend. Yeah. So I'm all about them picking me up at my place.
For some reason, on first dates, well, maybe because I've done both dating apps and non-dating apps, but for me, first dates, I don't want anyone to know where I live. Mm-hmm. I don't want them knowing where I'm at. And so for me, first dates, I like to just meet them there. Second dates, they can pick me up for sure. But first dates, I almost rather meet them there. But they can call my Uber on the way back.
I agree with Britt on the whole, if you don't, and Jess too, if you don't know him that well, I would definitely not have him pick you up at home, because I had an experience with that. This guy, he was a great guy. He was a doctor and he was awesome and nice, but then he showed up again with me not knowing. And he's like, I'm in your driveway and I have flowers. And it kind of freaked me out. And I was kind of turned off, and I was like, okay, he has my address. We've been on one date. And honestly, when you're meeting a guy, say at a restaurant, at a bar, it's kind of sexy when you're walking in and he's at the bar.
Lights are dim.
You're walking in, it's your grand, and if he's early, obviously, and you're not the person there. But you're walking in, you have your hot outfit on and your heels, and he kind of sees you and he's like,
limo dress.
Yes. I think it's hot when you're making your grand introduction, and you honestly, I don't want him to have you guys' address. I don't like that.
I know.
So many creeps out there, honestly.
Yes. All right. So is that it? Those are our 7 questions.
I just want to say that the last week has been really, really insane for me and for the rest of us girls. And we really appreciate those of you who have reached out to us, whether it be on our Instagrams, our DMs, all the positivity has been so amazing. And even the people who have been hating on us just shows us how much we need to uplift each other, because there's always going to be haters in your life. And if you can lean on your girlfriends and lean on your group chat and lean on whoever to lift you up during the day, that is so important. And I just want to say that you guys have been awesome, and we really, really appreciate it. And we have some really exciting things coming as far as the Rosé Girls. So we're not going away. So don't think that we're going away, because we're here and we've got some fun stuff happening.
Sadly, we are missing our girl Nisha. She is an amazing nurse and she works the 3rd shift. So that's why it's hard for her to make these podcasts. But she is there and we support her and love her, and hopefully she can make the next one. Yes. So thank you guys all so much for joining us. We love you all so much, and thank you for submitting those great questions. Make sure to join us next week, and of course, don't forget your rosé.
Don't forget. Cheers.